for the intro. Greetings, everyone. It's once again a pleasure to spend this time. I want to add on to Cynthia's welcome for every one of you who are joining us on this Zoom training from wherever you are joining us here on our continent of Africa, as many of you are, and further afield as well. As always, it's a pleasure to spend this time with you. And without further ado, I will just bring to your attention that our session for today, my session for today actually, is about children nutrition and supplementation. So, of course, this is a very dear topic for those of us who are parents and those of us who have got clients and family members in parenting, because we do need to be educated and to educate ourselves about the place that our products can play in the nutrition of our children. So, what I wanted to start with as a part of my introduction is that our responsibility as parents, and that, of course, includes all of us who are in a position to influence parents, thinking about grandparents, uncles, siblings, and so on. Our responsibility does include helping our children to grow up into appropriately self-governing adults and useful members of society. And self-governing means that as they grow up and once they are grown up, they're going to be able to take up the responsibility of their lives. And this includes good nutrition and the very important part it plays in our health today. Many of us are aware that eating these days is not what it used to be in former days. We have many foods in our markets that contribute to poor health. We have got many habits that actually harm rather than help our health. So being savvy about nutrition and supplements and lifestyle choices is becoming more and more a crucial part of good health. And so educating ourselves and educating our children on dietary habits is going to be something that we actually need to take quite seriously, because we know that we are coming across more and more lifestyle-related illnesses that were not formerly found in small children, but are now more and more being found in children. So, to start this topic of today, I want to say that in addition to good nutrition being an important part of general health for everybody, for people who are planning to conceive, people who are hoping to have children, it's an even more important factor to take into account, because of the things that I mentioned. We have got food additives, we've got environmental pollutants, we have got all these things that could actually be playing a role in our health and the health of the future children we expect to have. So it is important that we actually think of this from before conception. So when I'm talking about and thinking about children's nutrition, I'm thinking of children right from conception and even before, about the parents who are either prospective parents or parents who are looking forward already as expectant mom and dad. So on the part of expectant moms, their nutrition needs to cater for their own personal needs, as well as the needs of the growing baby that they are carrying. And already this is another important thing to take into account, because there are certain lifestyle pointers that I would like to pick on. So for expectant moms, we need to think about things like resolving or minimizing stress, because you know that a woman's body is, especially the reproductive side, is very much influenced by hormones, and stress itself affects the balance of hormones. So if a woman who either wants to fall pregnant or is already pregnant is under great stress, it is important that she takes into account the importance of either resolving the stressing factors or minimizing them where they cannot be eliminated altogether. And this is in order for her to have a good hormonal balance to either become pregnant or sustain the pregnancy to full term. Excuse me. Then, as much as possible, we also encourage expectant moms to be in the habit of choosing healthy, wholesome foods, because as I've said, there are many chemical additives that are added to our the foods that we find that are processed and prepackaged for us. So as far as possible to choose wholesome, healthy foods, minimally processed foods, in other words. I know that when ladies are expecting, sometimes there are such factors as nausea and food preferences or things that they find quite off-putting. But as far as possible, unhealthy habits like the drinking of fizzy drinks and sodas and so on should be kept at a minimum, because not only are they unhealthy, but they also might be affecting the baby, and they may also make the health of the mother after giving birth compromised. So that is quite important. Then eliminating or avoiding any known environmental toxins or other toxins. So things like tobacco smokes, the taking in of alcohol and other recreational drugs. These are things that expectant moms should actually be careful of and eliminate as far as they can. Then on the side of Neolife supplements that support expectant moms, the first I have here is multimineral alfalfa, which is a mix of mineral supplements, which is going to help the baby's need for its developing body and skeleton. It will also help the mom in maintaining her own skeleton and other tissues. So multimineral, very important for expectant moms. Then we have vitamin B complex, another one very important. You remember that I think 2 weeks ago, Connie talked to us about vitamin B. And in the case of expectant moms, is a very important supplement to take. So because it is involved in many things, and this includes the development of the baby's brain as well as the spinal cord. And it also helps in avoidance of birth defects in the babies. So B complex, another must for expectant moms. And then we also add their Provitality, which, as most of us will know, comprises of omega-3 salmon oil, carotenoid complex, threonine, and multi. So omega-3 salmon oil will play an important role in the development of the brain and the eyes. And then carotenoid complex helps in, of course, the development of the immune system and also the development of vision. So this also is important for the functioning of the eyes. And carotenoid also helps to prevent premature uterine contractions, which can cause the mom either some discomfort or for her to have false labor. Then threonine, we know, is our cellular nutrition supplement, the baseline of everything. So it is also crucial here. And it helps in overall cell development for the baby and also in giving the body the raw materials for the making of hormones. And remember, the whole process of pregnancy has got a very crucial hormonal component to it. So threonine plays a role there. Multi, of course, is going to give supplementations for a wide variety of micro supplements that the body will benefit from. Then last in the list is aloe vera plus, which will help, especially in some cases for some people, with nausea. So aloe vera plus can be very useful with nausea and as a tonic. So the expectant moms can try this if they're struggling with, what is it? With nausea. Then after that stage of expectant moms, the next stage is, of course, breastfeeding. And I think if you have joined us before in other trainings, you know that we highly recommend breastfeeding, because breast milk is not only the perfect food for the baby, but it also carries many physiological and emotional instructions from the mother to the child. So there's a lot of benefit for the child in breastfeeding and breast milk, including things like the development of the immune system of the baby and general health and perfect nutrition. So breast milk is to be preferred of all the early childhood food. So for moms who are breastfeeding, we recommend that they be in the habit of drinking plenty of clean water, Also, in addition to that, if they have this in their culture, bone broth. In many of our cultures, there are different types of broths that are made for breastfeeding and moms who have just had a baby. There'll be things like bone broth, fish broth, and so on. These are very nutritious and support the making of milk by the mom. Then, of course, things like soups. So the broth can be drunk as a broth, or it can also be incorporated in soups for the mom to get in her diet. Then breastfeeding has another advantage for the mom, and this is that it helps to return to a healthy pre-pregnancy body weight. And this is by helping to shrink the uterus. As the baby is breastfeeding, the uterus actually shrinks, and this helps the mother's abdomen to go back to its normal size. So as you can see, I cannot recommend the practice of breastfeeding enough. It is a very, very important thing to do. I know that sometimes some moms might struggle with establishing breastfeeding, but I also know there is a lot of support in our communities for older ladies or nurses or midwives who can actually help new moms to establish breastfeeding if they are struggling. This, of course, include extended family members like grannies who can help the new moms, young moms, to actually establish breastfeeding, because it is very important. If it is something you don't yet have in your community, then I would recommend that you actually get it started and try to contribute to it, because it is really a very important thing. Then in the supplements that support the breastfeeding mom, we'll still go with multimineral alfalfa, because the mom will still be requiring that range of mineral supplements for herself and for the production of good quality milk for the baby. And what we actually have noticed over the years is that if the breastfeeding mom is not taking the multimineral supplement, she can start having dental problems. And she may not realize that the dental problems is actually linked to the fact that the body is now pulling calcium and other minerals from her skeleton, including her teeth. And this could be why she actually starts having dental problems. So very important to recommend this to expectant and breastfeeding moms and moms who have recently given birth, because remember, the process of giving birth also involves some blood loss. So very important that we have multimineral there. Then I would also recommend their Neolife shake, because they will need that good quality protein supplementation that the Neolife shake provides. Of course, also from their diet, good quality proteins from good meats, non-processed meats will be important. As I've said before, soups made from bones and so on will all support this. Provitality is still continued with in the breastfeeding mom, because it will be providing those 4 supplements that will continue to support both the mom and the baby in this stage of breastfeeding. Then now we move on to the baby by themselves, because so far we've been speaking about the baby and the mom together as a single unit. But now if we look at toddlers and early childhood, that is 2 years plus, the first thing I want to recommend on the lifestyle side is to delay the introduction of sugary and sweetened foods or drinks for the baby, as well as refined carbohydrates. These should not form the first foods of the baby. I know in many of our cultures, we have different types of porridges that we use as the first foods to supplement the breast milk. And this is a good thing. So things like millets and other grains, millets and sorghums and so on, which are finely ground and mixed maybe with different cultures have different mixtures that they add there. But these are good, but much better than any of the refined tinned food that you find already manufactured for you. It would be better as far as possible to opt for these cultural porridges and grains that we have over the years inherited that practice from our parents and grandparents and so on. There are also certain fruits that are soft, like avocados and bananas and so on, that can be a good option as fast food for the initial food that is used to supplement breastfeeding. So look at that. But as I've said, opt for less sweet things. So no adding food sugar to these foods, because as we know, sugar is a very powerful flavor. And once the baby is used to very sweet milk or very sweet foods, all other foods begin to become tasteless. And that means that this can become a habit that is very hard to break later in life. On top of which, it can have some significant problems with the baby's developing teeth. So rather than opt for those food, let's opt for no sugar, no additional sugar to food, and no sweetened foods or drinks. And hyperpalatable foods also are a problem. So hyperpalatable foods are those foods which are chemically manufactured and flavored so that they are very appreciated. The problem with them is that they make the baby very focused on a small range of flavors, so that if we offer them any other natural foods, they reject it because they are already used to this highly targeted type of flavor that appeals to the child's palate. So better to opt, as the baby develops age 2 and above, opt for things like bone broth, soups, mashed fruits, and so on, which are naturally flavored or are wholesome in their nature. They are not processed. From the Neolife side, of course, for infants, our main supplement is Liquivite, which contains a wide range of supplements in syrup form that can be added to the baby's food, or can be given through a spoon or a syringe, depending on what you would prefer to use. And then we can also add Neolife Shake for babies, here especially for babies who, let's say, for one reason or another, are not able to breastfeed, or they have lost their mom, so they are not. There is the whole question of breastfeeding becomes impossible. So their Neolife Shake can be added as one of the early foods. And of course, if a baby is also struggling with feeding, maybe they do not like many kinds of food, if they are able to use Neolife Shake, it is a good option for them because it provides them with the full range of amino acids that they need for their tissue development. So those are the two for infants. As we go into late childhood, this is thinking about from age 3 to 7 thereabouts. It is a good plan to teach the children to eat mainly during meals and to avoid continuous snacking, because this can also be a habit that we help the children to develop by giving them food whenever they ask for it. And then they become in the habit of continuously eating this and that. When it comes to actual meal times, it finds them already too full from all the little bits here and there that they've been eating. So rather to have a practice of helping them to eat during meals, and then maybe just have two or so snacks to take them. If maybe the period from one meal to another is rather long, we can then have a healthy snack like pieces of fruit and so on. But they can develop this habit of giving children pieces of sweets, a bit of packaged biscuits here and there. And then when it comes to mealtime, the child does not want to eat. And then we say the child has a poor appetite. No, the child does not have a poor appetite. What has happened is that the appetite has been wasted on all these non-nutritious foods. And now when it comes to the meal that the child would have benefited from nutritionally, they now are already not hungry enough to eat it. So another lifestyle habit to think about there. Then we help the children also to develop a taste for natural foods by avoiding junk food. I know that there's a lot of aggressive advertisement to encourage us to feed our children all kinds of processed things and this and that, which are always recommended as being convenient and easy to transport and easy to give and so on. But remember, the easy path we take at this stage will come back to hound us when we are dealing with dental problems, we are dealing with childhood obesity, we are dealing with childhood diabetes and all these problems that are linked to this junk type of foods that we have available for us. So we rather should, as parents and adjacent to parents, should try our best to encourage the development of a taste for natural foods in children. Then it is also important to help the children to by avoiding the hyperpalatable food. As I said, hyperpalatable foods are made in a laboratory, and they are made specifically to be very tasty. And what happens is that all other food starts to taste unappetizing. So that goes for children at this age group. And in addition to that, from Neolife, we continue with the Neolife shake for protein supplementation. Remember, in this age group of 2 to 7, the children are growing very fast. So the Neolife shake can be an important contribution there. Of course, it supplements the proteins that we are supplying in the diet. So if a child maybe has difficulty eating meat because there are children who actually dislike meat, or something like that, then we can try different types of meat. Maybe fish might be more palatable for them. Or if we find that it is a struggle, then that is where Neolife Shake can actually be an important supplement to ensure that the child gets enough protein in their diet. Then we also continue with omega-3 salmon oil, because at this stage, the children might still need the omega-3 salmon oil. And in some cases, the children can struggle to swallow the large capsule. So then we would opt for the smaller capsule, which might be easier for the little child to take. If they are still struggling with this, in some cases, we may have to open the capsule and put the omega-3 contents into their drink, just to make it, it's not very easy to take because it smells very fishy. But yeah, we can try that. But more importantly, to just notice that the omega-3 salmon oil comes in two capsule sizes. There's the big one, and then we have the small one, which is more suitable for small children of the age group that I'm speaking about. Then in addition to that, we have Vital Squares, also a very important baseline supplement for small children. It is chewable and flavored with fruit sugars, which means here that the sugar there is made from fruit, and therefore we do not have to worry about it. And in addition to Vital Squares, we can also add VitaGuard, which is very useful for the development of the immunity, because the VitaGuard is made from the same carotenoids, flavonoids, and so on. So those are the ones we recommend for children in that age group. Then now we are moving on to older children of about 8, 9, 10, 11. These are the preteens. Here, this age group, it's very important for us to make them very conversant with the food group, so that they do not simply see food as food that is tasty and food that is not tasty. They need to understand the importance of the broad range of foods that we recommend for them to eat, and the different roles that they play in the health of the human body. So we also need to inform them and teach them about the problems that junk food poses, especially if they become very problematic, demanding to eat packaged and processed foods, because of course these are usually seen as a treat and preferable, but we as parents should actually make an effort to not make this a normal part of their diet. It is not a good thing for the health of the growing children. So we should help them with information, not just ordering them, but informing them so that they know why it is that they should avoid certain foods and why certain other foods are preferable. So at this age group, we can already start using Formula 4 or Formula 4 Plus, which is a good baseline supplement. Remember, Formula 4 Plus has got multi and athreonine. Or we can use the regular Formula 4, which is one capsule that contains all of those. And then we also would want to, in some cases, we can also recommend Neolife Shake to supplement them with good quality proteins. This is especially important for children who are growing very fast, going through a growth spurt, children who are involved in a lot of sports activities. So we may want to recommend the supplementation with the Neolife Shake for them. Then we continue still at this age group with omega-3 salmon oil for brain and blood health. Then at this age also, we recommend the use of multimineral, especially for young girls who are approaching puberty, because as they start having their menstrual cycles, they may we may find that they become anemic because they do not have the iron and other minerals that are required. So multimineral starts to be important here. Also for boys in this age group, because they are growing very fast, and boys, remember, will develop a bigger skeleton. So they may need multimineral alfalfa also as a supplement for the preteens. Then the final group for the children is the age group of the teens. So the teenagers, here we are looking at everything 12, 13 and going on. So at this stage, we are continuing educating them about healthy food choices and also helping them to learn how to prepare simple meals. For example, during the holidays, it would be a good practice to help them to learn how to prepare their own meals. And the reason why this is important is that every human being eats, and it is important for every human being by the time they're reaching adolescence to be able to prepare their own food, especially given how the foods that are prepared for us out there that we find already prepackaged or we buy as fast foods. These foods have got a lot of health problems linked to them. And the best way to mitigate against them is to help our children to know how to prepare their own food that is tasty and healthy. So adolescence is a good period to start learning how to prepare their own meals, and this can be a useful activity during the holidays for parents and children to participate in. It's beneficial all around. Also, as the children are moving into adolescence, they need to start taking ownership of their habits. Remember, we said we want to raise children who are self-governing, so they need to actually start taking ownership of their own habits. And remember, some of these problems that are associated with teenage, for example, acne, can actually be rooted in eating unhealthy things. This, remember, we said that the skin on the surface of the body is continuous with the skin in the digestive tract, which means that if something is problematic on the inside, it will be apparent on the outside. And for example, the facial skin can start having rashes and breakouts because the food that is being ingested disagrees with the body. Okay, it's very hot today. I believe it's also hot in Nairobi and Kenya and other places. In Pretoria, it is very, very hot today. Turn it up. So, well, just to go on there. So, explain. We also need to explain what role supplementation plays in their life. So we may need to tell them why it is that we are recommending this or that supplement and how it is going to help. And what we recommend for the teens is continuing with what we had in the pre-teens, that is Formula 4 or Formula 4 Plus. And then multimineral continues here as well as Neolife Shake. And so here in the teens, I very much recommend not just providing them with the foodstuffs, but also encouraging them with learning about preparing food, learning about the importance of different foods, and learning about the importance of supplementation. So, for example, girls will need to know why they need to take multimineral alfalfa. At one point, I wanted to add there maybe in this age group, I've noticed that amongst teenagers, the practice of being vegetarian is becoming more and more common. And just to mention that if your child does not like meat or take meat, then it makes it even more important to supplement with vitamin B complex, because many vegetarian diets tend to be low in members of the B complex family. So for the health of your young person, if you see that they actually are tending towards vegetarianism, make it a point to actually add vitamin B complex to them. it to their diets because they actually will be needing it for their adequate nutrition. Then just to take maybe 1 or 2 extra moments, I wanted to speak a little bit about acne because this is a common teenage problem, and I every so often get questions about acne and other skin problems. So acne is an inflammation of the skin that is driven by inflammation actually of the sebaceous glands. These are the glands that are in our skin that grow either hair or produce the oil that naturally occurs on our skin. So they can become inflamed, as I said, due to various causes, including poor gut health. And poor gut health is often related to a bad diet that is poor in the natural foods that support the life of the friendly microbes. So there is that. And then, of course, in adolescence, there are the hormonal changes that we see as the puberty sets up. This can also, the hormonal balance that is upset at that time can result in skin inflammation that leads to acne. We also have young people who might listen to ads which recommend certain very harsh cleansers. And these harsh cleansers are supposed to help them with the acne. Instead, what it does is irritate the skin and cause the skin to be further inflamed and make the sebaceous glands even more aggressive in producing oil. So they try to fight against the oiliness of the skin using harsh cleansers. And instead of reducing the oiliness, it actually increases the oiliness because the sebaceous glands, when they are inflamed and irritated, become overactive. So for that reason, the young people who are struggling with acne is one more reason for them to follow a diet of wholesome, healthy foods and eliminate junk foods, especially sugar and refined carbohydrates. From the Neolife side, we can recommend for them to use the gentle makeup remover in the evening because this helps to clean the skin, but is very gentle, so it will not irritate the sebaceous glands. And then we also recommend aloe vera gel that helps to soothe the inflammation of the skin. We can also add to those two chelated zinc, which helps with skin issues, as well as vitamin A plus D. So I see that I've already taken a few extra minutes. I thought I would add that because it's a question that is often linked with teenage nutrition and skin problems. And now I want to just conclude by thank you very much for the time we have had together. I hope that you have found the session useful and that you will take it upon yourself to pass on any useful information to your clients, to your family members, your friends, and any people within your circle of influence so that we help our young people to have a good foundation of good health in terms of their diet and supplementation, so that further down the line, we find that they will not have some of the struggles that we see are becoming more and more common as a result of sometimes lack of information, and of course, also sometimes from lack of choice. But as far as possible, let us always share any useful information that we get so as to have a positive influence in the lives of the people we meet. So here on, let me hand you over to Pascal, who is ready to take you through the business session for today. I want to thank you very much and wish you all the best as we progress in the month of February.
Thank you very much, Betty. You know, as Betty was talking about young people being able to at least prepare a meal, and because I like numbers, if you are 25 years of age and you eat 3 meals a day, you have eaten 27,000, over 27,000 meals. Think about that.
Prepared by someone else.
Prepared by someone else. So I think it makes sense for you to at least know how to make some meal. Okay, that's just by the way. So the session I want to share with you this evening are actually three issues. Two of them are how to grow your business. What is let me share the screen with you, then we can take this a bit in more detail. Okay, I want to share with you two things. First, one is current slide is prospecting. We know that there are 7 skills that you need to master if you want to really grow a big business. And what to describe our business simply is this: to get a large group of people who do a few simple things on a continuous basis. Because our products are home care or use products, this business entails building a large group of people who use products every day for an extended period of time. That is really what our business is. And the 7 skills you need to master to be really successful in this business is: number one, how to get prospects. That is the people you want to share the business with. Number two, how to invite those prospects to have a look at our business or our products. Number three, how to show the business plan, how to explain the business concept. Number four, how to follow up with people so that they can actually make a decision to get started. Number five, how to get new people started. Number six, how to convert people who are not interested in the business to become product users or customers. And number seven is how to promote events, because events is where people actually make decisions. Today, I want to share with you two things. One is how to build a prospect list. Once you build a prospect list, the next thing you need to do is how to invite people to have a look at our business or our product. So let's start with the prospect list. I'm sure most people who started the business because you want to make money. And you're going to make money if you build a network of people who are using those products. That's how you make money in our business, because Neolife doesn't have a sales force. We are the ones who build a network of people who use the products, and the money the company would have paid all those salespeople is what is paid to us. So, first step is building a prospect list. A few things that are important to build a prospect list. Number one, do not prejudge. Do not prejudge the people that you think so and so will not join the business, or think, oh, that person really needs the business, they will join the business yesterday. My experience is this: the people who need the business the most don't want the business. The people who don't need the business are the ones who actually see the value in it. I can't explain why, but people have got different attitudes when they look at the business. So the essence is you're looking for people who are looking for the business. So what are the 3 rules of building a name list? Number one is do not prejudge. Number two, write their names down on the list. Number three, tick their names off the list. What does that mean? It means speak to each person on that list one by one. I recommend that you speak to them one by one. And the reason why you need at least 100 names is this. Let's say you started a business, you're very excited, you have a list of 10 people. If you speak to 5 to 6 people on that list and all of them say no, you're already beginning to stress. If you have 100 people and 6 people say no, you still have 94 people to speak to. No stress. So I want to suggest to you this: write at least 100 names or more. How do you do this? Use a name list generator. For example, how many accountants do you know? How many business people do you know? How many civil engineers or chemists do you know? How many doctors do you know? How many engineers do you know? How many farmers do you know? Use the alphabet, and each letter of the alphabet, write an occupation. Under each of those occupations, write a list of 3 to 4 people. You're going to have 100 people in no time. So that's writing the list of 100 people. Step number 2, keep adding names to that list. Keep adding new people to the list. How do you do that? Learn to meet and say hello to new people. What I found that is very effective for me is I always walk around with business cards in my pocket. For example, if I go to the bank or I go to a shopping center or whatever it is, or a restaurant, I start conversations with anybody that I come across. You exchange pleasantries, and before you leave, you ask a very simple question. By the way, do you have a business card? From my experience, most people say, no, I don't have a card. I take out my card, I give them mine, but I take a second card and write their contact at the back of that card. I tell them, look, this is my business card. I would like to speak to you about a business I'm doing sometime later. Then you leave them. That is a way to keep adding new names to the list. Number three, attend events or shows where to meet new people. Okay? It's very important that you find ways to meet new people. Number four, ask friends and relatives for referrals. Why is that important? Because it helps you to expand your name list. Because your business depends on the number of people you bring into the business. Okay? So ask friends and relatives for referrals. Number five, be constantly alert to people around you when you go to public places. At the beginning, this may appear strange, but as you grow in your business, your antenna or your alertness to people around you begins to increase. I can start a conversation with anybody, anywhere, at any time. It takes practice, but it becomes a very useful skill to build your business. Okay, so those are some of the ideas that you can use to build your prospect list. Remember, this is the most important resource of your business. The next thing is inviting. Inviting is called the gateway to network marketing. Inviting is a gateway to a large Neolife business, because if you don't learn how to invite people correctly to come for an event or to watch a video or to listen to a CD or to attend a Zoom meeting, whatever it is, if you don't learn how to do it properly, your business won't grow. Okay? So inviting is a very critical skill in building your network marketing organization. A few things I'd like you to take note. Number one, we are looking for people who are looking. It means that the people who are searching for this business, you will come across them. Some people may not be interested, or some people may not be interested now, but in 3 months' time, or something may have changed in their lives that forces them to think, I remember Pascal talked to me about this business. Let me get back to him. Okay? So people's condition changes with time. Somebody who says no now maybe will say yes later. All right? What is our goal in this business? Our goal is education and understanding, for people to understand what we do. Our goal is not to sell people to join. Our goal is to educate people so that they can understand what we do. That's what, in fact, I would recommend approach this business like a consultant or a farmer. Remember, a farmer knows the rules of the game. They know that if they plant, they will get a return on their seeds. They are not in a hurry. They are very patient. You need to be patient also in this business. So the goal is to education and understanding of what we do. Ask the right questions. They are called qualifying questions. An example of a qualifying question is, are you open to look at a way to generate additional income? A very simple question. Okay? Or if you had 1,000,000 shillings, 1,000,000 rand, 1,000,000 whatever, what would you do with that money? Or what is your goal in the next few years? Those are questions that trigger people to think about their future. The next thing, if you are going to prospect people effectively, there are 4 key things in the process of inviting. This one was a hard one for me, very hard one for me. You need to detach yourself emotionally from the outcome. That simply means that you need to arrive at a situation where you don't care whether they say yes or no. That is the meaning of this statement. Detach yourself emotionally from the outcome. Is it easy? No, it is not. When I started the business, I understood the numbers very, very quickly, and I was very excited. The first 7 months, Betty and I worked extremely hard. But when I showed people the business and they didn't understand or they didn't see what I was seeing, I would get really frustrated. And I would ask myself, why is it this person doesn't see what I am seeing in this business? Later on, I began to realize this business, anybody can do it, but it's not for everybody. Okay? So, first thing, detach yourself emotionally from the outcome. Number two, be yourself. Don't try and be a different person for who you are when you're speaking to prospects. Be yourself. Number three, be enthusiastic. Enthusiasm is what attracts people to our business. Nobody wants to join a boring business. They want excitement. They want enthusiasm. They want to find somebody who is confident. That leads me to number four. You need to be bold and confident. Confidence simply means you have a strong posture. It means you're confident about what you're proposing to your prospect. Okay? Number three, the inviting formula. The inviting formula is simply a process that you follow to get people to look at the business. Step number one, be in a hurry. Step number two, compliment the prospect. Genuine compliment. Don't tell people lies. Don't try and what is the word? I'm forgotten the. Be very genuine in your compliment about the people you meet, because people can tell whether you're flattering them or you're telling them something which is genuine. Be very genuine. One thing I know about life is this: every single human being has got an excellent quality. Everybody. So it's for you to be able to notice that excellent quality they have and talk about it. Compliment them on that quality that they have. Everybody has that good quality. Okay. Then make the invite. Get the commitment, confirm the meeting, schedule the next call. That is a process for inviting. I will give you an example. You call, let me say, I see one of the ladies who are listening to us very keenly is Betty. Let me say, Betty, you've got a prospect who is, it's called Jane. You pick up the phone and say, Jane, this is Betty. I'm just rushing for a meeting. I've got a question to ask you. Would you be open to look at a business? Because I know you're a very hardworking person. Assuming you know actually that your prospect is hardworking, don't make a comment like that if you don't know the person very well. Assuming that Jane is very hardworking, you pick up the phone and say, Jane, this is Betty. I know you're a very hardworking person. Are you open to look at a way to generate additional income? Most people will say yes. Assuming Jane says yes, Jane, I want to send you a short video which is about 10 minutes. If I send it to you, would you watch it? Most people will say, yes, I'll watch it. Next question. When do you think you will watch it? Now you're getting a commitment. Okay? The reason why you need to ask that question that way is because you want the prospect to set the time to watch it. You know, you're not the one who is going to tell them when to watch it. You tell them, when do you think you will watch it? They will say, I think I'll watch it. If it's a 10-minute video, I'll watch it this evening. Then confirm the meeting now by saying, so if I send you the video now, you're going to watch it this evening. They will say yes. So if I call you tomorrow, we can discuss what you've seen in the video. They say yes. Okay, I'm going to send you a video now. Have a look at it. We can speak tomorrow. What time is suitable for you us to speak? This time again, you're asking them to confirm the meeting. It's not you who is deciding when to call. You're asking them when it's suitable to call. If they say, okay, call me at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, you said, okay, I'll call you tomorrow at 11. The video is coming just now. Goodbye. Then you end the conversation. That is inviting somebody to watch a video. Let me say you're inviting a person for a meeting. Okay? Let me assume you're in Nairobi. You've got a meeting at Chester House, where the company offices are, and you want to invite Jane for a meeting. Goes through the same process. Say, Jane, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but I know you're a hardworking person. Are you open to look at a way to generate additional income? They'll say, yes, I am. We have a meeting tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Would you be able to come for the meeting so that we give you an idea of what business we do? If they say no, tomorrow I'm busy, ask them the next question. When are you available for a one-on-one conversation? Now you're asking for a commitment. They'll tell you, I think maybe Friday 2 o'clock or Saturday 1 o'clock. Then you say, okay, so Saturday 1 o'clock we can meet for over a cup of coffee because you can't come for tomorrow's meeting. I will explain to you what we do. Some people will tell you, explain to me what it is. Don't be tempted to explain what the business is. Just tell them, look, I'd like to show you the business. So let's meet Saturday 1 o'clock at this venue. Will that be fine? Said yes. Then you need to make this statement. If for any reason you're not able to make it, let me know in time so that I don't waste time coming or you also don't waste time. When you make such a statement, you're asking the person to commit to coming for the meeting. That is the proper way to invite people to have a look at the business or to come for a meeting or to watch a video. It takes time. You just need to practice it many times until it becomes part of your nature. All right? Then the last thing I would like to share with you is a very important thing about success in our business, which is the power of a dream. By a show of hands, the people who are attending this meeting, if you have a dream, raise up your hand. If you have a really serious dream in your life, raise up your hand. Okay, I see almost the whole screen is raising the hand. Everybody has a dream. Okay, Cynthia, I think we have the right people in this business who are attending this meeting today. All these people have dreams because my whole screen is lit up with hands, people saying they have dreams they want to achieve. Okay? Now, you know, when I realize what dreams can do to us is when I really believe with my heart that you can achieve anything. Over 50 people have said they have a dream. What is a dream? A dream is something you want to achieve on the outside. What is a vision? A vision is something which is in your heart and your mind. A vision is within, a dream is something you want to achieve on the outside. I'd like you to think this through with me, reason with me. You see, God doesn't create any new material. There are no new gold bars being made. There are no new iron ores, copper, whatever it is. Nothing new is being created in the world. What does that tell you? It means anything in the future that is going to be developed already exists in the mind of somebody. Think about that. Anything that is going to be achieved in the future is already in somebody's mind. If that is the case, it means whatever is in your mind can become a reality if you just maintain the thought and the vision in your heart on a constant, continuous basis. You know, while preparing for this session, I was reading not really the biography, but the building of a company called Hyundai from South Korea. Chung Jung-yu was he was in a family of I think 5 children, and he went to school up to standard 6. And he was living in the village, and he was so tired of working so hard with nothing coming. Then he decided to escape from his village, and when he got to town, his father tracked him down and brought him back in the village. He did that 3 times. The 4th time he actually left and went to the city. When he arrived in the city, he just didn't want to do farming because farming was backbreaking. There was very little things you could get from farming. He decided he was going to be a salesperson for rice. He went to Seoul, which is the capital of Korea, without knowing how to ride a bike. And the first assignment he was given was to carry rice bags in a bicycle. He spent a whole night learning how to ride a bike, and he knew how to ride a bike. Within 6 months, he was selling more rice than anybody in that company. Eventually, he started repairing cars. From repairing cars, he started a company that manufactures cars. He went into construction. After construction, he became, within I think 5 or 6 years, he became the largest contractor in South Korea. And then he went to shipbuilding. At that time, there was no company in South Korea which built ships. So he approached one of the people he approached is Mitsubishi Heavy Machinery. He wanted them to help him to build ships because he was starting to do business in the Middle East, and he knew that there was a lot of business if you build ships. The Japanese told him, yes, we will teach you how to build ships as long as you don't build a ship which is more than 50,000 dead weight in tons. He said, no, I want to build the big ships, 250,000 or 500,000 ton ships, because I want to compete in the international market. He had never built any ships. He went to France. He went to, I think, England or Germany. He couldn't get somebody to fund his project. Eventually, he went to London. He approached Barclays Bank, and they gave him a loan to build a ship. He had never built any ship before. Within 3 or 4 years, Hyundai was the largest ship builder in the world. Why? Because he had a dream. He had the desire to build something that did not exist. The raw material for building a ship was already there. The iron ore, the rubber, the plastics, the copper, all those things were there. But it took this man to put up all those visions in his mind to build ships. Eventually, Hyundai became the largest shipbuilding company in the world. He went to manufacturing electronics. He started 6 or 7 different businesses. Why? Because he had a dream. And this is a man who did not go beyond standard 6. There are very many examples whose dreams that people have that has made them change their life. I think the challenge that most of us have is this. Number one, when you think about our dreams, first of all, we don't believe that we can achieve those dreams. And the first thing that happens is your mind tells you the difficulties you're going to achieve. In fact, I would ask all of you to test this evening. After this meeting, just before you go to bed, take a piece of paper and a pen and write down the wildest dream that you can have in your life. The first thing that will happen, your mind will tell you, okay, Kafi Masharia, I know you've never achieved anything. What makes you think you're going to achieve this dream? Our mind is already looking for the challenges you're going to face when you want to build our dreams. My suggestion is don't pay attention to your mind, pay attention to your heart. I read something that has stuck in my mind about 6 months ago. Whatever the heart has seen, the mind never forgets. What that means is that when you conceive a dream in your heart, that vision will haunt you all the time. When you're awake, when you go to sleep, when you're silent, when you're quiet, that vision you saw in your mind and in your heart will make you restless until you start to do things to make it become a reality. So if you want to achieve your dreams, first of all, you have to put it on paper. Don't just say, I have a dream. Okay, you want to make money. How much? Don't say you want to have a lot of money. Is it $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000? You need to write your goals down. Step number one, write your goals down. Number two, put a date on what you want to achieve. If you want to earn $2,000, $3,000 a month, write down the date when you want to achieve it and read it every day as if it has already been achieved. Then create a plan to make it. You see, some of the challenge that all of us face, including myself, is when you have a big dream, the first thing that our mind does to us is to start creating the challenges that you're going to face when you're pursuing that dream. My recommendation, don't pay attention to the challenges. Don't look at what you're going through. Look at where you're going to. And there's a big difference between those two. If you have a vision, if you have a dream, if you believe in it so much, in fact, the people who achieve their dreams is that those dreams are constantly in their mind, day in, day out. They wake up with it, they walk with it, they speak it all the time until those things become true. You know, you don't need to believe in this business. Why? Because some people have already succeeded. What you need to do is to believe in yourself. You don't need faith to succeed in this business. Faith means evidence of things unseen. I've already seen Charlie Bolton, who has been a 5-diamond director since 1981, and he has never moved back. So I know it can be done. The question is, can I do it? Can you do it? The people who are attending this meeting, can you become successful? All those big distributors we have in our business, can you become like them? And that is a question nobody can answer but yourself. So take hold of your dreams, write it down, put it in a place that you can see it every single day. If you look at the back on the left side on the right hand side of my side, I put pictures of the things that I want to achieve. Every day I walk into the office, I see this is my dream that I'm working towards. This is the thing that I want to achieve. It's constantly in my mind. And I speak it, I've written it down, I read all my goals. In fact, I wrote a goal, some 25 or 26 things I want to achieve in the short term. And I read all these things every day. That's what you need to do to prime your mind so that your mind can start noticing opportunities to make those dreams become a reality. I know a lot of you are going to be successful. I know a lot of you have your own dreams. Just pursue your dreams relentlessly. Are you going to meet people who are going to discourage you? Of course you will. Are you going to have self-doubt sometimes? Yes, you will have self-doubt. Okay, so I see Sylvia Buibo is raising her hand. I'm sure Sylvia also have fantastic dreams, but friends, pursue your dreams with all your heart. Things will change to make your dreams become a reality. A dream is a sense of grandeur towards your life. The vision is a thing that is written in your heart and mind that wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning, reminding you of the vision that you have seen that you need to work towards to make it become a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you very much for spending this evening with Betty and myself. Cynthia, we appreciate you hosting our meeting today, and I wish you the very best. I don't wish you luck. I wish you that you work very hard to achieve your dreams. Thank you, good night, and God bless.